Hello, everybody. Welcome to this recorded special edition. It is Monday morning, Martin Luther King birthday celebration day at 6:16 a.m. on January 12th. Now, wanted to talk. Woke up at like 5 o'clock this morning. I thought this would be a perfect quick take day to talk about wild card weekend, folks, and we'll get right on this show and get it going as the games happen last weekend. Okay, now starting off last Saturday afternoon, LA Carolina. The story of this game reminds me of the 2011 matchup between the 11 and 6 Saints. It was 2010, but it was 2011 playoff game, right? The 11 and 10, 11 and 6 Saints go to Seattle, play a 7 and 9 Seattle Seahawks team all the way across the country with a losing record, and they lose the game. Well, this didn't happen, but you have a 7 or was it 8 and 9 Carolina Panther team playing at home to a winning record there of the LA Rams. Of course, the Rams pulled it off. Great win. Big throws late by Matt Stafford there. My take on that is if a division winner has a losing record, and that record happens to be worse than the wild card team, the wild card team gets the home game. Now, the NFL probably never do that. They're too stringent about the division winners hosting a home playoff game. It's just food for thought, in my humble opinion. There, a lot more higher score game. That was supposed to be another big rain game. There was it like 34-31 or something like that. Great play, great catch there late by Kobe Parkinson. They do have some depth there at the tight end position. So now they got to go play. I want to say they got to go play at. Who do they play again? Let's go ahead and double check here. I know I screenshotted it. Working on the fly here. Oh, they'll be playing at the Bears. That'll be an interesting game next week. All right, now speaking of the Bad Devils, speaking of those Chicago Bears. Okay, Green Bay, Chicago was a great comeback for Caleb Williams. Big fourth down throw there for him. The cold handshake by Ben Johnson with Matt LaFleur there. The replay of the way Matt LaFleur shook his hand, kind of the brief, like, you're not worth shaking hand type of, I don't have any respect for you type of handshake that LaFleur did with Johnson back in Green Bay. A little back and forth with them two there. That's good for the sport. But the 18-point collapse there for the game, and of course specifically the 15-point collapse in the fourth quarter. That's really the story of this game. I picked Green Bay to win this game because Josh Jacobs said he's the best he felt in 6 weeks or so coming into this game. Matt LaFleur gave all the starters the week off. The week prior, they had the week 5 bye. Chicago had the week 5 bye. Chicago played Detroit last week. So, but Jacobs has got that knee injury. He's hurt more than he's letting on. He's probably going to need some kind of surgery, my guess, with that. The floor's got to catch on that. I think he was held like under 60 yards rushing with the rest off there against a sluggish Chicago defense who played a hard-fought game the week before against Detroit. They should have won that game. They should have won that game by a full touchdown, if you ask me. But that's Matt LaFleur. I want to say he is now 3-6. Let me double check this. Yeah, he is now 3-6 in the playoffs here. blowing big leagues. Remember, he had the great team there with led by Aaron Rodgers a few years ago. Lost that game at home to Tampa. Had another shot at the Super Bowl there. And then you look at there's a stat here on Ed Warder, formerly of ESPN. I think he's still with them. Jordan Love is now the third player in NFL history to have 4 touchdowns, no interceptions in a playoff loss per ESPN research. Josh Allen, 2021 divisional at Kansas City, and Alex Smith Walker are the only 2 players in the history to have those 4 touchdowns, no interceptions, and lose the game. Because you're having a coach that's not managing the game right, who's not confrontational. And now there's talks that maybe John Harbaugh would make sense there, according to Adam Schefter. So the floor is up for an renegotiation in his contract. So that is a story to monitor. If I'm Green Bay, if I'm John Harbaugh, we look at all those young, talented players in and around Jordan Love. They still got a young, talented defense there. Could use a few more pieces there as well. You've gotten as far as you're going to get with LaFleur. And this is kind of a common occurrence with these guys that are young, offensive-minded head coaches. And listen, I want the offensive-minded. You've heard the show enough. I want an offensive-minded head coach, folks. Don't get me wrong. But guys like Kevin Stefanski, Matt LaFleur, Cliff Kingsbury, Mike McDaniel, that's a common theme with them. Their teams lack physicality. They don't want to address players who are disciplinary action. They're just simply not confrontational enough to be they might not want to address coaches that although McDaniel he did address coaches in Miami. He may be the one that may simply still have a shot, still have some life there, but you've got to address that. And that's something they lack. I've talked about with Stefanski in Cleveland with Baker Mayfield, with the hurt shoulder a few years ago, not wanting to pull him out there. They don't want that confrontation. They don't want that conflict. Well, as the head coach, you're just not a guy still scheming up plays from the offensive side of the ball. You're in charge of his whole organization, okay? You got to yank a star player out when he's not playing like a star player due to injury, or he may simply be old enough in age, and put the young guy in. You may have to adjust and ruffle feathers mid-game, okay? You see a guy like Dan Campbell there from the Lions. He'll do that. And even you see a Ben Johnson, the way he talks and stuff, he's more of that. You can see it's working there for him in Chicago. So that's a big thing here. Yes, I would try to move off of LaFleur and go after John Harbaugh. That's a great job up there. Yeah, it's a quiet little town up there, but I don't know. It's another really good. What a nice landing spot and change of scenery for John Harbaugh if he goes for a well-run organization like a Baltimore Ravens to another well-run organization in a much different type of fashion, like a Green Bay Packers. Okay, so all right, now I had a lot to say about that game. The game really, really got under my skin. But kudos to my Bear fans. You get another John Restano, brother Fred, neighbor Roy's brother. Had him on the program last week. My Bear fans out there, I hear you guys. I hear you. It was a great win. You got a lot of talent. We'll see what happens this weekend in the playoffs. Anything can happen. Maybe you do knock off the LA Rams. Okay. All right. Now, going in order, folks, of the games that happened. Okay. All right. Now, let's see. Buffalo. Listen, I thought this was the game of the week here. I said it was going to be. Now, of course, we still got Houston playing Pittsburgh tonight. Don't get me wrong. I still like Houston. But anyways, probably the best intense. Many times in this game, I noted that Josh Allen I thought he was going to get taken out of the game. He had a hand injury. He was getting evaluated for concussion protocol. Looked like his foot got turned sideways. But the guy still rushes a couple touchdowns there. One late in the game where he's running like it looked like 5-6 yards on a quarterback sneak there. Also, the reason why I picked Buffalo, you could see the experience of this team from the defensive standpoint. Got 2 interceptions there. They really show, while they're still the number 1 pass defense, but are very rough. It's 21st, 22nd. I may be off a little bit there, but not a very good run defense there. Picked Trevor Lawrence off twice. One was crucial there towards the very end of the game. I said it would be 27-23. It was 27-24. Buffalo survives against that. And mind you, folks, Allen, really good game. Not a big stat-blowing game there, but he made crucial passes at the right time. And mind you, that Jacksonville run defense is the best actual run defense in the NFL. And it was very hard to get James Cook and company going there. So he had to make quick precision passes on the road. Mind you, they were 0-8 in the playoffs before this game started. Now they're 1-8. Now they're 1-8 in the playoffs, and they will go on and play Denver at the Mile High next week. I cannot wait to see that game. And I'll tell you right now, depending on major injuries and setbacks to this team, I will be picking Buffalo to win it. As I said before the game, the winner of that game, I think, will represent the AFC in the Super Bowl. Okay? All right. Now, things are bowling over in Philip. Some things are just a blessing in disguise, folks. They may be really irritate you, like the Chicago game I just mentioned earlier. You could tell that LaFleur is just not the guy. He's a good scheme guy, but he's not going to be able to get this team over the hump going back to the Packers. But these issues here with this offensive coordinator and scheme there in Philadelphia are really starting to blow over. And also A.J. Brown, I put this on my TikTok page, of course, of him having really strong words with Nick Sirianni. That he missed a big he didn't lay himself out enough, I don't know, to catch a ball. It looked like the ball was a little low. This was in the first half against San Francisco. Fox caught it, and Brady said, hey, it's no big deal. Big Dom got between them. There's been many reports that's the guy that kind of helps out with the Eagles, keep the players off of the coach Nick Sirianni. This has been going on for a while. But the A.J. Brown thing is that's an issue. The offensive coordinator is not getting it done. That's 2 things you got to address. Listen, this is T.O. 2.0. You've got to move off. You've got your Super Bowl out of them. They're not saying it, but we can see it. There is tension between Jalen Hurts and A.J. Brown. There's tension between Nick Sirianni and A.J. Brown. Brady kind of dusted off because Brady's had tension with the offensive coordinator, but both of those guys are just intense competitors wanting to win games. With Josh McDaniels, we saw that on TV. I think that's a much different situation. These guys are just trying to compete and win games. A.J. Brown is just not happy there. He's about A.J. Brown. This is more like a Terrell Owens, where the guy is just not happy with just getting the amount of targets that he wants. And quite frankly, I just don't really think he's happy he's grateful for the Super Bowl, but I don't think he's just simply happy in Philadelphia. He doesn't want to admit that publicly and upset the fans. I just don't. It's just get him out of the locker room. You got what you got. He got his money. He got his Super Bowl. You got your Super Bowl. You got your final piece, Philadelphia. Move off, A.J. Brown. It's the inevitable. You've got Dallas Goedert. You've got Devontae Smith there. You just don't need a guy like that in your locker room. Now, flip side, listen, I would have picked, and I said this, if I'd have known that Trent Williams was going to play the whole game, and I said this Thursday, I said they have a chance if he plays and finishes the game. The left tackle, that tells you how important a left tackle is. This is why you draft these guys early and you pay these guys and keep them to as long as you can keep them. Left tackle, left guard, center, right guard, right tackle. The offensive line is crucial And man, what a difference it makes. The 49ers get this big win here and move on. And you could just tell that the left tackle, the edge rushers, not in the backfield as soon as Brock Purdy snapping the football, unlike last week against the Seattle team, where he's barely got room to move at all. So it was a great win for the 49ers. They move on and play. Geez, I think they do got to play Seattle again. That's going to be a tough one for me to pick here. I may take San Francisco. I know they lost George Kittle in this game towards Achilles. That's very unfortunate. But they pulled it off, though. They pulled off the win. Great win there. And, of course, last night, listen, there's two well-coached teams there with the New England Charger game. Listen, Chargers 11 win. They're very fortunate to be there. You know, all of us are saying it. The coaches don't want to say that publicly, but when you lose two caliber tackles like they have, again with the offensive line, that's why that Jim Harbaugh said, no, I'm not taking this Malik Neighbor guy, although he's a great player in the draft. I want us to get Joe Alt in the draft, and of course he turned out great, and of course he got hurt this year. And him and Rashawn Slater both were injured. Slater got injured in camp, and of course, all got injured in the season. It's just you're being rushed like that. Your quarterback was hurt coming in, had the big hand injury, and New England just doesn't make a lot of mistakes. Kind of a low scored, boring game. But if you like football, you like good coaches. I like the way that game was played. I like the intensity of Mike Vrabel and Jim Harbaugh. They just got to get it all together. They've got to get a flush of new players there, young players there in LA. I do think Herbert's going to get his first playoff win probably in the next year or so. The future looks great. And, of course, hey, New England, you get the win. You move on. I want to say you play the winner of the Houston-Pittsburgh game, which will be on tonight. And, of course, I told you I do like Houston. Yeah, I do like Houston to win that game tonight. Probably be kind of like that other it might not be this low scoring, but it'll be similar to this Patriots and Patriots LA Charger game. Okay. College football. Listen, kudos to the Miami Hurricanes beating out Ole Miss there. Very close, tight game, the better game of the two that were played this week. We will go over that with the panel on Wednesday. But Carson Beck didn't lose it. Hey, listen, the running game played their game. The defense played their game. Got the stop there late. You want to call it a controversial no call there with the Ole Miss receiver or whatnot. I just think they played their game. Miami. I love the attention to the offensive defensive line by Coach Mario Cristobal there in Miami. Great win. Now Indiana, just playing excellent elite football there, looking like a national championship type of team. Fernando Mendoza back show. He is definitely the number one pick. He is. They're making comparisons on the telecast there of him being compared to a Joe Burrow type of season, throwing back shoulder passes, timing routes, perfect timing routes there. And, I don't know what it is. The guy's a little bit kind of a nerdy kid, but listen, he's just very excited to be there. He's not shy about thanking his God, Jesus Christ. My God, too, of course. And I just don't know why that I would love I had time to play this clip that Scott Van Pelk on Sports Center said, hey, we know we thank God and everything, but man, what happened? Tell me about this game. And so he breaks down the game for a second, ESPN. And then I said, just want to thank my God, Lord, for all this opportunity. And they said, okay. And then somebody from ESPN comes in, Van Pelt's, hey, we're told you need to get back down there with your team, blah, blah, blah. And I'm thinking, man, just let the guy be him. Yes, that's what these guys are in college. For a lot of them are people of faith, that they're not shy about it. They want to praise because it's very hard to get here. The family's involved. It takes a lot of faith to go get hit every day and go through that gauntlet of playing football and let the guy think he's God. You know, I don't understand that with ESPN. But either way, he looks like the true number one pick overall. But I posted that also, and that went somewhat viral, 50-something thousand views, that clip there on the TikTok account. And by the way, if you're not following me on the TikTok account, I've only got about 300 followers, but 299 to be exact. Robert at Real Sports Scope is the TikTok. Robert Butler 655. You'll be able to see all my clips here from the program on here on the Robert at the Real Sports Scope. And of course, that's with the K. There. You'll be able to see all my clips and stuff there on the TikTok page. All right, folks, I'm going to get off here. Just wanted to give you the quick rundown of the weekend. And also, again, check out Wednesday, live Wednesday, 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central. I'll be here with Big Tan and Rich. We'll do a recap. And, of course, Matt New Yorker of the college football playoff in its whole and more. We'll talk about that. A lot backed by popular demand. Ask them guys what were they thinking by picking Tulane over Ole Miss. So have a good Monday, everybody. I'll see you live Wednesday, same place, same time here on the Real Sports.